Welcome back, men things, to Let's Play Warhammer 2. Lord Skrolk Conquers the World edition, yes.
Welcome back, everybody. God, that does horrible things to your throat, that does. Anyway, welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2. Snappy title, right? Welcome back, though. We are scavening. The scavening continues. Previous turn, we took the Sentinel of Time, this place here. It's now under our control. Unfortunately, Public Order is going to shoot way down in the next turn as a result of the recent conquest and provincial instability, which is unfortunate. It is being somewhat mitigated slightly by the fact that Skrolk and his minions...
I am the Plague Lord.
Yes, you are here doing their thing, kind of keeping order. Not very well, mind you, but they are keeping order somewhat. So previously we took this place and beat the crap out of a bunch of lizard men in the process. As you can see, there's another settlement over here, the Southern Sentinels, that we are going to want to deal with. Unfortunately, we're not in the best position ever at the moment, really. What we do have, luckily, is a nice, decent-sized army. Not of particularly good quality, but that's Skaven for you. Unfortunately, though, we are not producing any food, so we're continuing to lose food every turn. And as you can see here, we are actually suffering a food shortage, which means that we get -5 growth in all provinces, -5 leadership for all our forces on the battlefield, and -1 public order in all our provinces as well. So, yeah, it's not great. It's really not great. We need to mitigate this food problem, unfortunately, which I don't know what to do about that, really. Maybe we'll raid this place. I don't think I want to take it, because that's just going to make things even worse, trying to capture that now. But what I think I might do is sack the place, or even raze it to the ground. I don't know, actually. But I think, now we'll probably try and sack the place, and then we'll head up this way and try and take this place, because this place has pastures which do produce food, which is good. So that would be an excellent idea, and I have a feeling a lizard man army is probably going to come wandering across this direction anyway, fairly soon. So before we hit end turn, though,
Clan Pestilence.
Lord Skrolk here ranked up after the previous battle, so we're going to give him a skill point. Well, you know, spend a skill point on an ability thing. Pestilent Breath. The Skaven utters a vile phrase and belches forth an impossibly foul cloud. Overcast spell. Pestilent Breath upgraded. Yeah, so there's a thing you can do with magic spells in this game, which I didn't demonstrate previously, whereby if you click on the magic icon that appears in the bottom right on the magic menu thing more than once, it will overcharge the spell, and it'll be more powerful. However, there is a chance that it will backfire and, you know, hurt you instead. As you can see, it's got a miscast chance of 50% there. But it's still pretty cool, for sure. So, yeah, it's not bad. It effects causes moderate magical damage, can disrupt unit formation, expanding tier-shaped attack, strong versus multiple units. Unfortunately, is weak against armor, which is kind of a shame. And also poison on contact, it seems, which gives you a bunch of debuffs to whoever you hit it with as well, it looks like. So it's pretty cool. We already can cast it, weirdly enough, although we've not got a point in it, but I'm going to put a point in that anyway. So that's done. Lord Skrolk is a plague priest, and ultimately his main job is going to be to cast spells at shit constantly, which is why we want all of this stuff. There's other things we can take as well, Inspiring Presence, which probably would be useful, actually, because of shitty Skaven leadership. You know, you want to get those aura bubbles of leadership buffing on the go as well. But things like improving his melee attacks and stuff, it's not really what he does. You know, he's not a lizard man, he's not an orc. You know, he's not a close combat machine anyway. So, you know, although I have to admit, Loathsome Appearance is kind of cool. Although it seems to be locked. Oh, available at rank 6. Yeah, I see. That's kind of cool. It causes terror. So basically, any enemy units nearby will be horrified, quite understandably, by Lord Skrolk. And it will damage their morale quite significantly, which is pretty good, actually. That's a good combo to have alongside Plague Monks and Plague Monk Censer Bearers and stuff like that, who quite frequently are good at making enemy units panic and run after their initial charge. So you combine it with Lord Skrolk having this charging in amongst them. That's pretty good, actually. Also, some other stuff here. Quest for the Liber Bubonicus, and so on and so forth. Which is interesting, but anyway. And then there's your standard route march thing that every character gets, which increases campaign movement range. I want to check if we can recruit any new characters.
Where shadow of horned rat?
Recruit hero. Not available. Required Warp Forge, Assassin's Hideout, and Pestilent Knave. What would we need for that? Oh, good grief, yeah, no, we need like a level 4 settlement for that. But we will be getting one of those, because we'll be building a Cox Pauldron. Ha! What? No, a Cox Pauldron is quite a different thing altogether. No, a Pox Cauldron. Oh, God. Yeah, anyway, we'll be building a Pox Cauldron as soon as skavenly possible. In the meantime, though, there's nothing else for us to do, so I'm just going to hit end turn. Oh, dear. Cox Pauldron. That's some Slanesh-related nonsense, so I don't want to get into that.
Obedience is becoming a problem here, my lord. Those that inhabit this place begin to stir against your rule.
They do indeed. It's because we just conquered them. They're not too happy about it. However, we can build stuffs. We can
Too strong?
build a nest nursery. The Taskmaster's platform will be done next turn, and that will be very good. Rattling Warren's nest nursery. How much gold do we have? Oh, we've got quite a bit of gold. I mean, we've got that going for us at least. So that will increase growth and Skaven corruption, which is nice. So I think, and it generates a bit of extra income too, which is also good. So I think we will begin construction of that, I think. Right, in the meantime.
My eyes gone, but I see.
I see. Yeah, we're going to have you head up this way, my friend. Oh, actually, no. That's not what I said I was going to do at all. We're going to attack this place and probably loot it.
Spread boxes.
Yes.
Unleash.
I love the way he skips along on the campaign map. He's like Skaven Pox Santa Claus. That's what Skrolk is, really. Just skips along, spreading pestilence wherever he goes. Winds of Magic. Pretty good, actually. The menace below. We could increase this. This will allow us to summon rats out of the ground. However, it will cost us food in order to do so, which is not something we have a lot of right now, so I think we're going to not bother with that. I don't think we'll need it against these guys. There's almost like, that's a tiny force. We are going to massacre them. It is almost not even worth doing this battle. It will be quicker and simpler to auto-resolve it, but I'm not going to, because that would be...
Fight my brothers!
Yes, indeed. That would be no fun whatsoever, would it, really, if I just auto-resolved it, so... Let's see some carnage, shall we? You know, as soon as it finishes loading, God knows, it'll probably take a while, because I've just started the game up. Battle of the Southern Sentinels. And then some unhelpful info about camera controls that we already know. Although the insert key with a unit selected to move the camera to first person mode, I had forgotten that, actually. That's kind of cool. Maybe I'll do that in this battle just for fun. Nice and cinematic. So what's the deal here? Are we starting off on a hill or what? I think there's like a cliff edge there or something, and there's a bunch of woods. It's difficult to tell sometimes. Even when you've got the map preview, you know. We'll soon find out in a minute. They're woods. It's going to be all jungle anyway, isn't it? Since we are in the jungly area of the map. That's another thing I like about this game, actually. It's the fact that the battle maps... No, I mean, the units are the biggest thing for a Total War game, as far as I'm concerned. It's the units. It's making the battles fun. If you can get the battles right, there's a lot I can forgive in the campaign mode, ultimately, and that's how I felt with Rome 1, ultimately, because it didn't have the best campaign mode ever, to be honest with you, the original Rome, and yet I've played that game more than any other in the series, and I forgave so much about it purely because the battles themselves were awesome. And it's kind of the same case here, and one of the things that does make them awesome is not only the fact that we've got all these awesome, varied armies with different units and things, but in addition, these catapults are awesome. But in addition, the battle maps are very different from your standard Total Warfare. I mean, we've got jungles with like volcanoes and things, and like ash wastes and deserts and loads of cool stuff, basically, that you don't normally see in the historical games. And look at this like lizard man shrine thing. This is so cool, you know? Anyway, you've got the city in the background and so on. It's nice. I like it. Anyway, so it wasn't a cliff edge at all. It was a river. Well, anyway, I'm gonna gamble. And it paid off. So, let us begin our deployment. Same as before, really. Clan rat spears on the flanks. Spearmen are useful in this game, even more than they have been previously, because in previous games, spearmen were basically just there to kill cavalry with, but in this game, spears are also useful for killing monsters with. Or very large infantry and creatures and things like that. Right, and we want our plague monks and censer bearers right behind the line there so they can go charging in and mess stuff up. Although, actually no, I've done this wrong again, haven't I? There we go. We want you guys at the back, effectively. And we want the other guys at the front. There we go. Skrolk right in the middle. And the catapults. Let's put them up here. Although I don't think I want them actually in the trees, because that might cause us problems when it comes to shooting and stuff. But yeah, no, that should be good. Alright.
The winds of magic blow strongly in this place, Commander. Harness its power and channel it against your enemy.
Pestilent breath, blessed with filth. Okay, there's the catapults. I'm not going to bother giving them a specific target, honestly. I think I'm just gonna splat. And you go, Skrolk. Your lord's under attack. I know, it's because I sent him into battle. You silly people. Here's the thing. I don't know if that... Oh, I see. It imbues our units with poison, which causes those effects. Wow, that was a fast victory. That did not take long. And see, that was even without Lord Skrolk causing terror. Do you see what I mean? Like, the possibilities here are fantastic if we can give it that, you know? The ratty chords, I love it. Insert will give us... Oh, yeah. Gives us this camera. Not really first-person camera, though, is it? It's sort of just hovering above the unit camera.
Die, reptile!
Whatever. Yeah, these guys are going to run away. But it doesn't matter because it's a siege battle, which means they will all automatically be killed once the battle is over. Although, catching a few of them. Get wrecked, lizards! On the subject of Total War games, though, in general, I did see that they've announced that they're working on an expansion for Rome 2, of all things. That one I do not understand. I don't know what's... Creative Assembly, I don't know. They really confuse me with their decisions sometimes. They honestly do. Because Rome 2, in my opinion, is a garbage game. It was extreme, like, flaming trash pile of garbage when it was released. And then they patched it, so it at least runs okay now. But it's still kind of a mess and a bit pathetic, frankly. I mean, I played it fairly recently. I reinstalled it, you know, along with a bunch of the DLC and stuff like that to see if it was worth doing. And I even installed a couple of mods for it, and I was still really, really unimpressed. A lot of the stuff about the game I didn't like is still present. You know, the rubbish soundtrack, the stupid combat animations, the AI being dumb as a box of rocks, even by Total War standards. And then they released Attila, and Attila improved on virtually everything about Rome 2 that was wrong about it. You know, they improved a shitload of stuff, everything from the UI to the music to everything. They improved it a lot. The only problem Attila had was that it ran like garbage. It was incredibly badly optimized, and still is to this day. And it just boggles my mind that instead of finally maybe fixing Attila and optimizing it so it runs properly, instead of doing that, they've gone back to the game before Attila, and they're making a new expansion for it. And I'm like, why? I don't know.
Find precious things. Make hoard. Find the warpstone, brothers.
So we've sacked the place. We haven't taken it, but we have just wrecked it and taken a load of loot, which is nice. I believe Skrolk has leveled up. So what else we got then? Plague Rash. Itchy, nasty beebos are spread as the spells of plague are cast, infecting the enemy populace with sickness. Passive ability, Plague Rash. Oh, I see. It's like a campaign map thing. Not so interested in that. More interested with things like this. Extended effect duration, that would be good. Wither. Minus 60 armor on enemies. That is very good. Especially if we end up fighting dwarves and things like that. Vermintide. That spawns a unit of clan rats. So it's like the Menace from Below thing, except it's a spell that we can cast. So that's pretty cool. It's actually very useful in certain circumstances, so that's tempting. However, I don't know if Wither is really a priority when we're fighting lizard men right now, because I don't know if lizard men have a lot of armor. I don't think they do, but... I'm going to get Wither anyway, because we may end up fighting dwarves at some point soon, so... Since we have some nearby, you understand, who have gold, it would seem.
Skaven wants nice shinies, yes. Steal them from the stunty things.
Yeah, so that place is dealt with for now. We will head back over this way. That was a ridiculous battle, that was. I didn't bother to check, like, what the stats on it were in terms of what we, casualties inflicted versus sustained, but it doesn't look like we sustained very many. In fact, rather unusually for Skaven, I don't think we took any casualties. All these units look like they're full. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Anyway. So we sacked that place. Downgrading the buildings. Taking a wealth of 1,673 with them. Nice. And...
pestilence will rule the world.
Indeed. And we got +5 food for captives and stuff after fighting that battle, which is nice. And so, yeah, we're going to head up this way, and we're going to see if we can take that place, and then we might end up running back over here to take this place again. It's a bit... I wouldn't call it efficient, but we definitely need this food. That's the main thing. We need these pastures really badly. So, in fact, I mean, if I was being sensible, I probably would have taken this first, I guess, and then dealt with this down here. But never mind. Never mind. Hindsight is a wonderful thing, and it's always 20/20, as they say, so that's what we're going to do for now. We've assigned his skill points, so let's end the turn.
Your kind burns
Right.
energy. Blessed, or perhaps cursed with a high metabolism, they will not fight on an empty stomach.
Yeah.
Be sure to keep your forces fed, lest they chitter and conspire to turn on their commanders as a source of nourishment.
Yeah. So as it's pointing out, yeah, the food is important, but at the minute we're no longer in food shortage. So all those debuffs have disappeared and have been replaced by +3 growth.
I'll eat, consume toad things.
Toad things. So that's good. So what I'm actually going to do now is I'm going to change the army stance to march,
Run, scurry, do not stop.
which basically disables recruitment. It means these guys are going to be tired in a battle if we end up in a battle, which we won't, but hey. Should the army be attacked, retreat will be impossible. And we can't initiate battles. But, and this is the important thing, campaign movement range is increased by 50%, so we can march all the way over here. Basically, what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to dump us in Oxel here, just to ensure that some phantom lizard man army can't jump out of the woods and attack us while we're tired. So we'll chill there. So if we're attacked, you know, it'll be a siege defense thing, and they may not attack us immediately, and so on and so forth. So that just seems more sensible to me. If we're going to have a bunch of tired troops, might as well have some walls to hide behind, you know. Although probably doesn't have walls, really, does it? I think it's such a small settlement that it'll be a field battle like the last two we've done, so never mind. Anyway, whatever. Could go hide in the woods, maybe. Nah, I think we'll just stay there for now. It'll increase public order and stuff too while we're there, so that's a thing. And I don't think there's anything else for us to do this turn, is there? Because we've built or are building everything we can currently build in, you know, both our settlements here. So there's not much else to do other than wait for you know, our population surplus goes up and then we can upgrade the town, basically. At the moment, turns until surplus point. 4 turns and we'll have 2 surplus points. And that's what we need to upgrade to a level 3 town, essentially, a nest layer. At this place.
A shadow of horned rat.
I think it's the same for both. Anyway. So it's going to be a bit sitting around and waiting now, I think, for a while. Unfortunately, just clicking the end turn button and waiting for stuff to happen, as is the nature of the game on occasion, which is why I was keen to actually do that battle in real time just then, because I wanted to kill something.
Enemy cities will be fortified, sire. The capture of such citadels will likely mean a long siege.
Indeed. Believe me, he's not joking. When I played the orcs in the first game, and I was trying to take dwarf citadels, which were full of highly elite infantry, it was like not even worth trying to assault the walls most of the time. You'd have to wait for like 7 turns for the attrition to kick in and half the number of dwarves in the place before you could even think about attacking with orcs, because orcs are numerous, but their infantry is generally pretty fucking awful compared to dwarves. And again, we have the same problem as Skavens, so if we end up attacking Thrice Cursed Peak, for example, we will not be making a direct assault. We'll be sitting around waiting for the dwarves to starve, for the most part, I think, before we actually come in and take the place. So, because in a siege battle, trying to assault walls and things, as Skaven against dwarves with their long beards and dudes with great axes and stuff like that is just disastrous stuff. Not even worth bothering with. So yeah. Meantime,
Lord Skrolk.
we'll set you guys back to regular stance, which is not any of these. Although we could use the underway, which is kind of fun. The underway basically allows you to move under the map, and it's great for allowing you to go past mountain ranges and things like that, take shortcuts. And you can also fight battles in the underway as well, which are spectacular. Again, another example of the battle maps in this game being really cool. You can fight underground battles, which is so cool. They really are really awesome to look at. They're pretty cool. But anyway, we don't need to do that right now. We're just going to advance in this direction here.
I am the Plague Lord.
You'll notice our food level has gone down again, which is annoying, but hey. Hello, Supertoon. We're going to be attacking you pretty soon. Yes, we are. Yes, you have lovely foods that we want.
Vengeance on serpent spawn.
We could recruit units. I don't think we're going to bother, though. We don't really need to at the moment, actually. We'd have to use global... Oh, we can't even recruit at all because we're in an enemy province, but there is two kinds of recruitment, as you can see.
Doom decay.
Local, which is in the local province, like here. And global, which is from all over your empire whenever you're in friendly territory, and it basically... only while garrisoned or in the encamp stance, and it costs more money and takes longer, so it's not ideal, but it can be useful. So again, I think we just got to end turn, unfortunately. Unless I'm missing something. Nope, does not like it. War declared. Itza and the Southern Sentinels. We're fighting the Southern Sentinels, so that's probably good news for us, actually.
Your kind are known for its backstabbing ways, mighty lord. Yet there remain some hapless fools abroad that will be lured by your honeyed chitterings. Agree a pact of non-aggression, and begin sharpening your knife for when the time comes to break it.
Sign a non-aggression pact with the following faction, the Vampire Coast.
We have no interest in the dead things. Besides, what can your plagues do against that things that are already dead? Useless. Make 3D pact of no fight with vampires. Turn on them later, of course.
Learn them. Okay. We'll give it a go, I suppose.
Raid the lands of the enemy, mighty lord. Send your warriors out to slaughter the peasants and burn their villages. Make the enemy fear you.
That is something we can do, actually.
Decay.
Or we could just attack. But yes, you can raid if you want to. As you can see. Which is important for some factions, actually. I mean, in fact, it's important for us because, as you can see, it generates food. So that's a great way for us to actually get food. If we can't build enough of our own, just send an army into a nearby province to raid it.
We are rampant.
So that's a cool thing we can do. Although you can raid your own province if you want to, but as you can see, it gives you a big public order penalty, so it's not great. And vigor in battle is of course winded as well, and that's a problem because typically raiding is a good way to provoke the enemy into attacking you ultimately. So, but yeah, it's important for us. It's important for other factions to do raiding as well. I believe orcs, if I recall correctly, they start to get annoyed with you if you don't raid. So you quite often have to raid your own territory as orcs just to keep your army happy. So, however, we will be attacking this place. So we've got an army that's already there, which is Skink Cohort, Saurus Warriors, and Itza, this guy, and a bunch of guys that are the garrison units, essentially Saurus Warriors and more Skinks. So I'm not worried, not even slightly. In fact, we've got 4 uses of the Menace Below on this one, interestingly. I don't know. I wonder what governs exactly how many uses of this we get. I'm not sure. I'm sure there is. I mean, there absolutely is something that governs how many uses of it we get, but I just don't know what it is at the minute, so...
Reap for pestilent.
We will absolutely fight this battle. Oh, yes. And we're going to be summoning a bunch of clan rats out of the ground, apparently, for this one. In fact, I'll probably just spam it. As soon as our battle lines meet, I think I'll use all 4 uses of it if I can. Although I think it has a cooldown on it, so it doesn't it? So I can't just spawn 4 units out behind them. That would have been awesome, though. 23, I'm not going to gamble. That's pretty good. So we'll start deployment. Check that out. That's pretty cool, huh? Some of the city battles in this game are really cool. A lot of people got very annoyed because in this game, the way siege battles work, where you've got like walls and stuff, is you assault one specific section of the wall instead of being able to deploy anywhere or all around the entire city. And people got annoyed by that, and that, to be honest with you, I don't really... Well, I guess I understand why, because people don't like things being removed from games, but in this sense, I feel like it actually made sense, because the problem I always had with the siege battles in previous Total War games is they felt so empty, because you always had a tiny army, effectively, like this. This is not very big, you know, and this is almost a full stack, but you'd have a little army like this, and you'd have this stonking great massive city, and your entire army would be dwarfed by it. You'd have this tiny bunch of little troops just attacking this massive, massive place. And it was just always felt like really quite underwhelming, if I'm completely honest with you. It felt really underwhelming, and the battle maps always felt way too big for the number of units actually involved, generally speaking. Whereas if you scale it down a bit, so you've just got a section of wall in front of you, and your entire army's deployed on it, and the AI, crucially, as well, has deployed its entire army in defense of this one section that you're attacking, it makes for a much more engaging siege battle. If you ask me, that's just my opinion, but hey. That's just what I think. I actually enjoy the slightly more narrow focus of the siege battles in this game. Particularly when, you know, you've got things like flying units now that can really make siege battles a hell of a lot more interesting than they used to be, so... Skrolk, yes. Well, let's move you guys back here. Nice and out of harm's way. And the slingers, as usual, sitting at the back here. I don't think these guys rarely seem to do any damage whatsoever. They're just sort of, again, more cannon fodder, really, but hey. They probably have more of a morale impact than anything, actually. So...
Spells may be overcast to increase their potency,
yes,
my lord.
I know.
Yet I advise caution. Channeling so much
caution?
raw magic.
What is this thing you call caution?
Let's try and cast this in such a way that we affect a whole bunch of units. Alright. Let's have one of these. Hello, boys. Let's do that. Just for fun. Got a few of our own guys with that, but who cares? They're Skaven. Friendly fire is the only kind of fire, I think, when Skaven are concerned. 10 seconds and we can summon a bunch more of those, but although we don't really need to, I think it's just... oh, hello. There's a dude getting pelted with slingers and catapults and stuff. So get him, Skrolk! Yeah! Tell you what, actually. Oh, I was going to say cast Wither on him, but he's running away now anyway, and we've won the battle. Pretty useful, though, against a character like that. Spell like Wither, for sure. What happens if I do this? Oh, no. That's just not going to work.
Hello.
I would like to see this guy die, honestly. I could click end battle right now, but... Fortunately, lizard men are quite resilient. And, yeah, the clan rats are fleeing now, because the guys we summon out the ground, they only stay around for a little while, then they disappear. In this case, they all just sort of drop dead, which is quite amusing. But, yeah, they don't stick around forever. It's the same with if you were playing vampires and you summon a bunch of skeletons out of the ground, or zombies or something, they don't stick around forever. The spell only lasts so long, because otherwise it would be, I'd say, a little overpowered. It's going to be dead pretty soon.
You all die, Lord Skrolk. Lord of pestilence.
Oh yeah, when you put that on him, when you put Wither on him, he suddenly starts taking a lot of damage.
Should we run? Flee?
Come on, you can get him. Let's speed this up. Your warriors flee! No! How about we put poison on all our stuff? He just doesn't want to die, does he? God, lizard warriors, man. Or lizard men. Warriors, whatever you want to call them. They are... He's not going to die, is he? He's going to get off the edge of the map. You think he's bad? You should see Crockgar. That's the, like... If you play as lizard men, you get a choice of two characters. You get the big toad guy, Mazda Mundi. And you get Crockgar, who's a big lizard man warrior like that. And Crockgar is an absolute tank in close combat. He just won't die, and he does so much damage. Excellent. Ooh, more ranks up. Excellent. As soon as we get to 6, we can get that terrifying presence thing. So, let's see. Occupy level 1, I think. I mean, yeah.
Capture, yes, take.
Tietza, enemy belonging to Southern Sentinels, has perished in the battle at Supertoon, the Lost Valley. Excellent. And we succeeded in the mission too, which is nice. Which gave us some warpstone and some more money.
My lord, any contesting claim to this territory has been eliminated. Now that your rule is unquestioned, you may consider issuing a commandment to rouse the populace so that they may better serve your ends.
Oh yes, that's a thing. I'll deal with that in a minute. Just trying to figure out how we do that. That's a good idea for sure. Although we've just spent our population surplus we were gathering up in order to upgrade this place, but oh well. Where is the Taskmaster's platform? I don't see it anywhere, although that would be good to upgrade. Oh, it's there. We have to be a level 2 to get it. I see. Alright, well, I'm just going to get this then in that case. The Putrid Rice Bog. Fantastic. Putrid Rice Bog. Pastures, underground mud yards where mewling meat things are kept ready for slaughter. There we go. So, issue a commandment. Okay, so we now control the Lost Valley. We have the Sentinel of Time, we have Supertoon, and we have Oxel. Which means that we can issue an edict, commandment thing. They were called edicts in the earlier games. They're called commandments in this one, apparently. Which generates some bonuses and things. So, for example, exploitative planning, minus 30% tax rate, and food generated 2, with more Skaven corruption. Martial planning, bonus to recruitment cost and recruitment capacity. Expansionist planning, construction cost minus 10% for all buildings, growth plus 20. And efficient planning, which gives us public order and untainted, which we don't want, actually, really. At least I don't think we want untainted, even though it appears in green as a bonus. I think we'll go for... I mean, it wouldn't be bad to get public order, but it's only a tiny bonus, really, actually. So I think what we might go for is the one that gives us growth. We want more growth. Exawatl. Currently progressing towards the ritual of prognostication. Aha, yes, I see. So this is interesting, this campaign, because it's a bit almost like... It's the first time they've ever done this in a Total War game, I think. It's a bit like almost... You know how in Civilization there are multiple ways to win the game? Like you can get a science victory or a diplomatic victory or a military victory. There's multiple ways to win this campaign. We can just conquer the world, or obviously we've got this ritual thing. And as you can see, all the other factions are important. Hexawatl, Nagaron, that's the Dark Elves, Lothan, that's the High Elves. They're also doing their own rituals, so we need to keep an eye on that. And if one of them gets really far ahead in their ritual, we probably need to take them out, don't we? And the way we get ahead in ours, of course, is by collecting warpstone. And by going for settlements that have warpstone. This one's got warpstone, for example. This one doesn't, though. Those guys don't. That's actually another Skaven faction over there. About here. No warpstone there. Do dwarf things have warpstone? Apparently not there. Maybe we can't find... Well, maybe we don't find out until we get closer to them. I'm not sure. Anyway.
Lord Skrolk.
So...
This is dark omen.
Anyway, we're getting a nice food surplus at the minute, which is good. Because, frankly, more bonuses is rather nice. I think. Also, level up. I forgot about that. Skrolk!
Bring decay.
What shall we give you? Warpstone tokens. Miscast base chance goes up 5%, but we get a Winds of Magic Power Reserve of bonus of plus 13. Not awful, I guess. That could be good, upgrading that again. Let's get Vermintide. Let's just unlock the spells for now, I think. And we'll work on upgrading them later. Good stuff. Well, you've lost a bit of health, Skrolk, actually, but he's going to recover it by the end of next turn. That's what the yellow part of his bar indicates there. Cool! Dawnstone, common, precious stone that glows. What?
Thornwind's rare weakens.
What's Dawnstone? What is this thing here? Physical resistance 15%. Well, apparently we've got something called Dawnstone, which is giving us a bonus. What? Oh, it's a talisman. Okay, right. I was really confused by that. I was like, what is this thing? No, it's a talisman we've got, which is cool, I guess. Alright. So, ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for this week. That's all the scavening we can do today. Whack-Mole Crater. That's an interesting name for a place. So we've taken Supertoon. We raided the Southern Sentinels. I think we'll probably be headed back down there to take that next time, actually. I don't know for sure, but I have a feeling that might be a good idea. just so we can get rid of this. And then the rest of this map down here will be... Yeah, because this is all ruins. This is all around here. This is all ruins. Nothing to worry about. Oh, actually, before we go, there is one thing we do need to do. That is not correct. We do not want the technology screen, although... It would be nice to have some technology, but we need a clan armory for that first, or an assassin's hideout, or an overseer's lookout, and so on and so forth. We need to build buildings in order to be able to research technology, unfortunately. What we need to do is go to diplomacy.
Relations with foreign powers may be managed through diplomacy, my lord. Consider your situation carefully
And,
before accepting any agreement.
Talk to the Vampire Coast. Hello there, Waldekir Helsnicht. How are you doing? His domain is over here, apparently. The Vampire Coast, as you can see. We need to talk to him to complete this mission.
Speak now. Praise your gods. I like what you say.
Non-aggression pact? Likelihood of success moderate. We'll give it a go.
So be it.
Okay, cool. Mission accomplished. Glad I remembered that. Mission successful. More money and, crucially, more warpstone. That gives us actually a really tangible, extremely good reason to complete missions if they give us warpstone as a reward, actually, now that I think about it. Because in the first game, without any really important reward other than a bit of extra money, I tended to sit on missions for quite a while and not really get around to doing them, but if it gives us warpstone, well, that's a different thing altogether. So, anyway, that's it, folks. I'll catch you next week with more Skaven. Loads of you, obviously, yelled at me to continue making more videos of Total Warhammer 2. You all seem to really, really enjoy it, so...
Yes, we will make more of the video things for the man things watching on the YouTubes. Yes.
Yeah, basically we're going to make more videos of this, and we'll continue this campaign for as long as we're interested in playing it, basically. If everybody stops watching, I will probably stop making the video, to be honest, because we've got to prioritise things that people actually want to see, ultimately. But occasionally it's a good idea to try new stuff and see what works. And in this case, hopefully it works, because I quite like this game. I quite like it a lot. It's a while since I've played a Total War game, and I sat down and really played it properly for a while. So anyway, cheers, folks. Catch you next time, and enjoy your weekend. Hopefully this will go up today, by which I mean Friday and not tomorrow, because of all my game updating woes I've had. I'm going to see if I can try and upload this tonight. Or hopefully, if I'm really lucky, it will have uploaded by midnight, but we'll see. Anyway, that's it, folks. Bye-bye. Catch you next week.